Yeah, I got the Bobcat up here to the garage. I'll show you something I got today. Big news in my opinion. Been noticing things that I need to do. Now the little bit that I got to use the Bobcat today, or recently, something I noticed it doesn't have. It doesn't have storage for like chains or straps or whatever. But there we go. I went and bought a 20-inch toolbox from Tractor Supply. Let me get it over to the garage and I'll show you some more stuff. Grandkids are swimming in the pool today. It's hot. But I think they're gonna have to get out here pretty soon. It's sounding nasty. Starting to, I don't know if you can see the storm through the darkness through the woods or not. Let me get this carried over to the garage and I'll show you a couple more things I got to install. It's gonna take me a little bit to do it.
Oh no, that's disrespectful.
I bought the brackets from that hold the Toolbox. It's an underbed toolbox, and but I'm going to put it on the back of the skid steer. I noticed that seems to be the biggest problem with the skid steer is having well, it is what it is, but it is having storage. So I'll get some, I got an old toolbox that I might throw in there or put some other, just maybe a shelf in it, I don't know. But definitely my chains and my straps and the brackets. But I bought that off the thing. But then another problem I see is having a hitch, or so for some of my equipment, like my wagons or whatever, I need the whole, this is a receiver, 2-inch receiver for my wagon or whatever, or a trailer for that matter. I can put the ball in it. Of course, chains. But this is actually made for a zero-turn mower. But I got that off of Amazon. But you'll see I'll bring you back here when I start drilling the holes in the skid steer. You're supposed to pull it through on a skid steer, or on a zero-turn mower. You can bolt it straight through and then have nuts on the other side of the bumper and tighten it down. I'm gonna have to, because it being a tube bumper on the skid steer, I'm gonna have to tap it. I figured out a way, if I end up having to put nuts on the other side, to cut a hole in the tube still and just put nuts on the other side. But we're gonna tap it first and see if it holds to what I need it to do. For what I'm using it for, I think that'll be fine. I'll bring it back once I got the skid steer here lined up. I already got the holes marked on the skid steer. How much more of this I'm going to get filmed tonight, or today. That storm is blowing in. It's starting to, you can really hear the thunder. I got the grandkids kicked out of the pool. They're over there jumping on a tramp for now, till it really left loose, I guess. I was always told, look or measure twice, 3 times, whatever, cut once. Well, same goes with the bolting stuff up or drilling holes. I want this is dead center of the skid steer. I want this to be a center. Anyways, I'll get these holes. Looks like I did okay. We'll put a couple pilot holes through first, and then we'll go bigger. Plenty of pass through on the one that I can check, so that ought to do what I need it for. There's the final product on that. Fold it up, orange line being the center, 2-inch receiver. Let me get set up for the toolbox. I hate wearing safety glasses and gloves too, but with a cutoff wheel, they're explosive when they go off. I mean, they just probably shouldn't even be wearing shorts and Crocs, but at least I have gloves and safety glasses. Well, it's done for the night. Have to get back to it tomorrow. Well, good morning. I'm back for the next morning. I could only get so much of it done last night. But my hopes are to drill the back of this box out to 1/2 inch. That'll fit over the nuts that are holding the braces on. Probably won't work out that smooth. Then that way I can take one nut off at a time and put a washer on it, silicone it, and put it back on. But like I said, probably won't happen that smooth. Well, of course I had to do some fine tuning. Let's see if I can get you in there right. And be able to see, that is. Turn my cell phone light on. But see, I ended up having to oblong that hole out. I don't know how well you'll see that or not. Anyways, there it is. It's on. Let me get the washers on. Well, there it is, the finished product. Put in, did a little customizing on the steel. You saw part of that where I cut it. Well, after I got the box all bolted up, I had to bend these tabs out a little bit. But I didn't really want to cut it off to make it fit the box because of how this brace was. I mean, I guess if I wanted to do some welding, I could have changed it a little bit. But either way, finished product. You can see the hitch underneath there. Let me get you turned the right direction. I'm gonna have to put an extension on that to get it to work with the box on there. That was something I didn't take into consideration either. But there you go. I don't know how much you can see in there, but the washers, I have them all silicone caulked so that the water doesn't get into it. I might have to do some of that later on too. But either way, thank you. Sure, I could have bought a Bobcat box and it would have probably been a little bit easier to install. But it was also everything that I could find wasn't exactly the size I needed, because I want to put cables and chain or straps and chains in there, some hand tools to carry around just in case, you know, what I find that it's convenient to carry in it. I mean, I have one with my tractor. This is a little bit bigger idea. I had to adjust the door a little bit too, also, because to make it tight fit. But if you're anybody that does any kind of work out here, you learn to adapt a little bit. Only thing left to do is rip the sticker off. Well, thanks for hanging. I hope this gives somebody an idea what to do, whether it be your tractor or your skid steer. This is the best option. It cost a lot less than the Bobcat brand. And I noticed other skid steers had their own toolboxes too. Most of them seemed to bolt on the side. And I wasn't sure I liked that idea, and they weren't as big. So either way, and then if I ever need to put the counterweights on it, I can still put the counterweights on the side holders. Well, y'all have a great day. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for hanging. Peace out.